Hi, welcome to the channel today. Today's Thanksgiving, November 27th, and I'm just going to take a tour of the garden, kind of show you what all is happening. We did have some cold weather last night. We're supposed to have colder weather tonight, and then next week, supposed to get down below freezing. So we'll see how everything's going kind of before we get much cold weather. This is the raspberries. They're still producing a little bit here. This is the Crimson Night. We'll set that up like that. You need to go remember to get those. It's made, a few. We're never going to be a place that's going to make a lot of raspberries, but they have made some. The Glencoe and the other one, let's see, that's Glencoe. Actually, this is going to be Dorman Red. Okay, be the first Dorman Reds we've gotten. So we'll see how they take. You want to try it, my son? Because we have not tried a Dorman Red yet. Now, most people have said Dorman Reds tend to be bland. I kind of agree with them. That's you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, some people like the flavor. Flavor is objective, but that has been the knock on Dorman Red. And it's good, nice sized berries. Again, have a lot of taste to it. I'm not big on raspberries. I like blueberries better. But Patrick is. He didn't seem to appreciate it much either, did you?
It have a better texture than the
Yeah, texture wasn't bad,
Crimson.
but it just didn't have much raspberry flavor to it.
No.
So if you like a bland raspberry, I guess it'd be okay. But it's supposed to be able to take the heat much better than any other raspberry. The other raspberry we got over here is going to be the Mysore, and now I've got to let it go crazy. I've got to really cut it back because I got to get the thing in the garage, and right now it's just starting to bloom. Put some blooms on it here, but I'll cut it way back. And but it just went crazy. It is not winter hardy. You can't handle a freeze, so I'm going to have to bring it in, for next week. And I'm not going to try to tackle that. It's got some really big thorns on it. Since we're up here, I'll show you over here the cuttings. They're looking decent, looking good. That'll look like that for all. This is starting to bud out, but and I haven't even checked it. You ain't got no roots yet, so that doesn't mean it's going to root out. This one here, of course, don't see any roots in it. And this one, not seeing any roots. It also had some cold weather on it last night. It doesn't like cold weather at all. We'll see the big plant. It didn't kill it, because you can kind of see right up there the little bud. So maybe. I've never rooted this one yet, and we got this one here, and it's got roots that are coming out already. This thing, if you want these, they do root out really, really well. So as you can see, already got roots coming out the bottom. So I may make some more cuttings of it to give some people at work. We'll come around this way. The Myers lemons, it's starting to bloom out. It blooms kind of year round. Took a lot of the fruit off the other day to make some lemonade, or actually give the neighbors to make lemonade. And it's good at making lemonade. Anyway, and then we'll come back and look up over here. This is the amount of rain we got, because this was empty when it first started getting the rain, so we've gotten enough rain. But still want more rain, because I did miss the big rain we had to get the fertilizer on my ryegrass to get it growing, so my horse have some feed to eat, or some grass to eat. These are the onions. Ain't doing much right now, but they are looking better. And 3 different varieties. Sofire is S-O-F-I-R-E. The other one was, I want to say Valencia, but it's not. It's begins with the V. And the other one is going to be the Texas 1015 Y Super Sweet. And anyway, there's not much to see on them. These are going to be some of the different citrus that I'm growing. This one here is Tarocco. And we got this one over here. It's going to be the Kiss You. I'll probably be cutting this thing back a little bit. But anyway. Then over here we got the lettuces and things growing. They're doing well. Got the one garlic I got growing here. This here's the soy mustard. It's growing and it does well. They can take the cold. We'll be leaving them where they're at. That's one of the last of the broccoli that I planted. This here broccoli is kind of the extra ones I've gotten. Those onions are getting pretty close to, may put some more out if it doesn't rain all day tomorrow or Saturday. This here's where I planted the garlic. I did notice one right here that's just starting to come back out. And the others should make it. I mean, they were starting to sprout, so maybe right here. Maybe not. But anyway, it takes a while to get going, especially when it gets cold. This other right here is the Page Mandarin. And that one over there is a New Zealand lemonade. I've not had any fruit off the New Zealand lemonade. Mine is a Jiu-Jitsu lemonade tree. So they do have two different ones. And that's why I got this one, just because it was different. And here is the brassicas I got growing in the kiddie pool. I cut a hole in it about 2 inches up so it could drain out, planted them. We have not had really any warm pressure at all this year, which is very odd, but some years you don't. So if you grow one year and you have a whole bunch of pressure, that don't mean you can have pressure the next year. Or if you have a year like this year, you don't have any pressure, that don't mean it's not coming back next year. So the little white moths, when you see those flying around, you realize you're going to have some worms in a few days. Over here, I planted a bunch of carrots. Some came up and something happened to them. Something ate them or whatever. I don't really know why. I even looked at here at night, couldn't find it. I've got one carrot growing. So knew that had happened. I had several carrots, sprouted over here that I know of. And, they're really, really small sprouts. And then they just kind of disappeared. So I planted some beets, and this is the beets plants coming up here. I did lime this to get the pH up on it because beets do not like low lime or low pH. And so I took care of those. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. This bed has not been real productive for me, and don't really know why. Over here, we got one of the loquats. You got a bee right there. Bees really like the loquats this time of year. Another bee sitting up over here when they're all bloomed out. It can handle the freeze. At this stage, it can handle down to 26 degrees without losing the blooms. Once it actually sets the fruit, then it can handle down to 28 degrees. It goes the other way. So, got a long time. But these, if it does show to go into the mid-20s, I'm going to put them in the garage. I did trim this one up, took out the suckers. And that's kind of leaning that one way because it had the suckers go on the other side. So anyway. This here's the cherry of the Rio Grande. It's the only tropical cherry that has a hint of cherry flavoring to it that I've had. I've had the Barbados cherry. We had Suriname cherry. To me, they just didn't taste that great. Over here, I've got the sweet peas are growing. A little bit too much fertilizer on this one. That's why you see how tall it's getting. It does have some peas on it. So I planted a bunch of carrots here too. Kind of the same thing happened, but I had more seeds. I do have one carrot there. That's a pretty good sized carrot, I bet, if I pulled it. I'll probably pull it next video. I was trying to prove that you could grow carrots and get them in the fall of the year. So yeah, you can, but you got to plant a lot of seeds apparently. I just did not. And I don't know, carrot seeds are kind of funny. Sometimes you get a good, a lot come up. Sometimes you don't get very many at all. My one tomato plant way back there, I guess I got two tomato plants that still survived. They may take them out tonight. Here I've got, well, there's the green tea. I gotta make sure it doesn't freeze because it don't like freezing weather either. Same thing with all my pineapples and things. Pineapples over there. And this is the pineapple that has a pineapple on it. Here's a little top on it right there. And that's the top they'll make big. And then there's a stalk coming out underneath it. I planted this, I think, 2 years ago in that 5-gallon pot, and it's done well. So I've had some people say it's taken as long as 5 years, but I think I've got about 2. It's the second one I've had to make. You do see how big the plant is, so if your plant's not growing big, you might want to add some more fertilizer, add more water to get it to growing well. It's another one of low quats that's probably put a little too much fertilizer on it, too much nitrogen. That's why it's tall and lanky. But that can happen. This here is a sweet leaf, and that's why I was saying it just got cold last night, no freezing. That thing it didn't like it. You know, you can tell the way the leaves look. So it's wet and it's moist, so that shouldn't be the problem. I am going to take some cuttings on it just to see if I can't get this thing to, it will survive the winter. It has in the past, but it takes a long time for it to come back from roots. I mean, I'm talking about May and June. Twice I've given up on it, and then later on, I know it's late, you know, first part of summer, not spring, but summer, it started having little sprouts coming up on it. So, you know, that's just trying to get it a head start and see if I can't limp it along. I know I've done that with the Okinawa spinach before, the one that rooted out you seen earlier. I think I said what it was. And I'm doing, like I said, some of that for people at work that wanted some cuttings, so that's what I'm doing there. This is one of the pineapple that where I cut the pineapple off and it had some pups on it, and I've just left it. It'll probably go ahead and produce some smaller pups on it, be smaller smaller pineapples on it, but you know, we'll see. Over here is the pomelos, and these are ready to eat, son. So you can take one and eat them if you want them. You know, they're not going to get any oranger or any sweeter probably. This here is my longan tree that's not doing really well, but it's not dead yet, so you don't give up complete, you know, not completely giving up on it. This is the other loquat that I've got. It's called Champagne. And it's got a lot of, last year it didn't make that many, but it's put on a lot of blooms this year. And I've got other ones blooming at the same time so it can get cross-pollination. And there was a lot of bees out earlier. It's getting a little cold again. This is a nectarine tree. So yeah, I do have a nectarine. It is smooth zest ones, which means it's one come from A&M, so it's going to make earlier than most nectarines. Hadn't got any decent fruit off of it yet. It'll make 3 or 4, and usually the bugs get it. This is a lychee tree here, and Sweetheart lychee, and it has made some lychees in the past. It did not make a whole lot last year. It just set out a fair amount of blooms. They did not set, so I did get another lychee tree over here that, you know, we should get cross pollinations next spring, but they won't put, like they're normal, they'll put out fruit next year. I will show you, here is another pineapple, and that's the size they're going to get. I expect this pineapple to, if I keep it from getting frozen, it should go ahead and fruit next spring. But you got to get them that big. So that's a big, you know, plant. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth getting a plant, having to baby it for 2-3 years? But I will say the fruit is incredible. You know, it's very sweet. Doesn't have all that tartness to it that your store-bought ones have. So, and that's from a store-bought plant. This here is one of the oranges, Valencia orange, and the peppers are on up over here, and they're doing all right. Over here we've got the pineapple guava, and they're doing all right. I did want to show this here with Okinawa spinach. It seems to handle the cold a little bit better, but you know, you can make cuttings off of it, or it will come. I've had it sitting here for 4 or 5 years. It went through Snowmageddon, survived it. So, and all the other freezers we had, I've never taken it inside. Oregano, same way. It can take the cold weather. It can be okay. This here's the, I can't ever say that word. Sumu is, I think is a fruit, what they call it. I'll trim it up just a little bit. You don't want to trim up citrus too much because you can kill the fruit of the tree buds. This here's strawberry guava, and it's made pretty good. So, you know, if you like the strawberry guava, it's been an easy plant. I bought it last fall. It made this spring, and it made another 4 or 5 this fall. So it's done. I've been, you know, impressed with it. Over here is the other pineapple, and these are white jade pineapples. I took them from, I had some pups on them, just broke the pups off, stuck them in the pot, and they're growing good. Now, you don't see as many as I had past because I am giving these away at work and things, and I went to a plant fair or whatever and gave some away. So, you know, I don't need this many. And it's paying the rear end to keep moving in and out of the garage every time it gets close to freezing. So, and I'm not sure they really liked that cold weather the other day either, if you look at some of the damage to it. So I may take some of these inside, I don't know. And they come back up around here. This is another pomelo tree that's doing pretty well. This is another of the Sumo oranges or mandarins. This is a sweet leaf, not the sweet, this is a lemonade tree, Jiu-Jitsu. Been growing that pot for about 3 years now. Produced a lot of fruit this year. I've got a big tree in ground in the garden. This is a root cutting from it. And if anything, it's a little bit too aggressive or too vigorous. Come down over here. I have the blood orange. So I made these tags so I won't have to sit there and say the names. So we should try get some of these to try out, as long as I, you know, don't let it freeze get to them. The other cashew that I've got here, they make the little sweeties, oranges. It's seedless, they're small. Now sometimes the first year you get them, they make a really big fruit. I know one other person in comments said they had one that made big fruit and then it made small ones. Same thing happened to me. I don't think it's worth thinning to try to get the bigger fruits though, because I think it doesn't, they're so easy to peel. Who cares if you have 3 small ones or 1 big one? So that's my take on it. This here is the other Burl. What is it? The Oro Blanco. The Oro Blanco, really big fruit there, and hopefully it won't rot in between the two. Hasn't yet. But anyway, and I guess we're going to go up over here and take a look at the broccoli over here. See how that's growing. It's doing really well. It's got some broccoli up over here, and you know, they're growing nice and growing good. Then I got my roses over here. I'm going to clip these back because they're just getting too long and lanky. I probably cut back even more. And that could actually be from just too much fertilizer. And try to get this thing where it's going more upright. We'll see. It looks better. And then, like I said, we got now, these are on their own roots. So that is not a sucker. That's just a regular, so it should come and fill out this part here. So it's kind of good to know if it's on the own roots or not, because I would suspect that'd be a sucker if it was one that had been grafted. But it's not been grafted, and need to deadhead these, so I don't keep up with these as much as I should. But you know, they're looking okay. These 4 here was bought by Antique. I bought at Antique Roses, and these here I bought at the big box store. So there's just a regular roses. But anyway, I guess the one last thing I'll show is the blueberries, and that's the one that died. These doing okay. I need to fertilize them again, but anyway, I've got these 2 are rabbit eyes. These over here are all southern high bush. This is a Sweet Crisp, Snow Chaser, Sweet Crisp. That one is O'Neill. That one over there is Pink Lemonade, and got a pomegranate tree up over here. But anyway, so what I'm going to show you today, I am going to try to go live this next Saturday at 11 o'clock. If we get everything worked out, we're going to try to get it set up, scheduled, and then I'll put out a premiere deal on it. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.